What's up, guys? This is Jerry Mason, the Kickin lawyer. I'm in a different location today. I'm in my car because I'm about to go in and get this guy divorced. I know he's excited about that. Got about 20 minutes. Not going to take all that time, but I wanted to touch on something that was near and dear to me and our firm, at least with me and my partner. Yesterday, we had a trial, a criminal trial, jury trial, and we did get a not guilty verdict, which is great. And part of the reason that it's great is because sometimes, and this is kind of a sticky situation because people, assume a lot of things about criminal defense lawyers. I know I did when I was a police officer about how can you defend people like that? How can you defend those folks? Well, because sometimes they're innocent. Like, I think we forget that as a society, that oftentimes just because they're accused of something doesn't mean that they're guilty of it. Now, sometimes they may not be guilty of it on the legal standard. In other words, they may have done it, but the state may not be able to provide enough evidence to prove that they did it beyond a reasonable doubt. They may not be able to carry their burden. I got another video on that, on burdens of proof, that explains that previously. But so they may not be legally guilty of it, but they may have actually committed it. But a lot of times we get clients who I really believe didn't do it, like legitimately are legally and morally innocent, did not do it, and are wrongly accused. Now, I will say that that's probably few and far between. Like, a lot of times it's probably somewhere in the middle. May not have, there's some provision of the law that we use to try to get defenses or whatever. But anyway, it does happen that innocent people are accused. And I want you to remember our history. So, of course, we all defense lawyers are trying to justify why we're here because everybody thinks, oh, you're so terrible, you should just let these people go to jail or whatnot. But we're here because our Constitution was founded on the fact that our ancestors were running from a government that was just doing whatever they wanted to do. So we wanted a government of the people that was run by the people. So one thing that I think people forget is criminal defense lawyers, or defense lawyers in general, are often a check and balance on the power of the government. And it's needed not only by what our ancestors set up, but even today in today's society, we forget the fact that the government consists of people. And I'm not saying they're bad people. I love most of the prosecutors and everything around here, but they're human. I mean, I worked for the government. I was a police officer. And there were times I'm sure I made mistakes. We do that. Matter of fact, as a cop, I didn't even have to get proof beyond a reasonable doubt. All I needed was probable cause. Again, if you don't understand what those are, I highly recommend you watch my other video because I think that's a huge thing that people misunderstand. And that's why I was so excited yesterday when we had the system work the way it was supposed to work. We had our client had a jury of his peers who unbiasedly reviewed the actual evidence and weighed it and made a decision. And they were able to hold the state to their burden, which, obviously we didn't think they carried, but this is a little different in that I personally knew the client. I had worked with the client before. I really believe that he not only was legally innocent, I think he was morally innocent. I don't think he did it. And so what's so frustrating, especially for me and my partner, is from the outset of this specific case, the public just destroyed our client. Like, as soon as he was accused of it, oh, he did it, he's such a terrible person, and this was a sex offense with involving a child, and oh, he did it, he's guilty, they should hang him, and all these things they would do, when I don't think he did it. Like, he legitimately didn't do it, and people are just automatically just destroying him. And now, even now, this is the other part that's frustrating, we get not guilty, which means he's innocent, and all that stuff should be wiped away. I still guarantee there's going to be, for lack of a better term, a stank on him because of the charges that were levied against him. I mean, he's already lost his job and other things. So I really hope that, you guys will look at it from a slightly different perspective. I didn't. When I was a cop, I didn't. I'll go ahead and say I was just as biased as most everybody else. When they were accused of something, I was like, they need to burn. They just need to throw them away, throw away the key, all that kind of stuff. But it's just such a different perspective on this side. And even the client mentioned that because in his previous job, he'd basically done what I'd been doing. And said it's so different when you're on this side. And it is, because people don't wait for the evidence to come out. And they do it a lot in everything. You see it in politics and things too. People don't wait to see what's going to happen. And when you defend an innocent man as a lawyer, man, that is difficult. I'm not saying that my other cases haven't been hard, but sometimes there's a little stronger evidence one way or the other. You kind of know what maybe did or didn't happen. This case, I really believe that he was innocent, like morally innocent, not just legally innocent. And I lost sleep over it because I was like, oh my God, this pressure is on me and my partner, Brian, to make sure that he doesn't spend his life in prison as an innocent man. And you think in 2018 that stuff doesn't happen, but I'm telling you that it can. So, and again, it's not that the state, I think, intentionally prosecutes innocent people, but I think there's some bias on their part too. Just like when I was a cop, they have some bias on what they think did or didn't happen. So don't jump to conclusions on things. Wait and see what the evidence is. And even then, if you're not in the courtroom and hear all of the evidence, you probably still don't have enough information to form a good opinion. You just have to trust that justice was served. And I think it really was yesterday. I think that we had a jury that was able to put aside any personal bias or any stuff that was in the media, and just the fact that he was charged with these heinous crimes. They were able to put that aside and really weigh the evidence and come to what I think was a legal and just decision. I hate that it happened. I hate that there was, any kind of alleged victim involved or whatever the problems were on that end. But, if he didn't do it, he didn't do it. And just because he was accused of it doesn't mean that the door should just be slammed on him and doesn't get his chance to pose a defense. So my partner Brian and I were very excited about the outcome yesterday. And I was glad to see last night, too, there was some outpouring from the community of sort of, hey, we're proud of him, the client, and they're glad for him and all that. But I just want to remind everybody to really consider that, that there was a lot of people jumping to conclusions. And it's happened in a lot of our cases. I mean, basically all of our cases involving this kind of allegation, people automatically just butcher them, in the court of public opinion. So, I was glad to see that our system actually worked. It kind of rejuvenated my hope that our system does function, because I think an innocent man, got justice yesterday. So, as always, if you have any issues, criminal or otherwise, feel free to contact us at the Huffman Mason Law Firm. The numbers are below, and you can send me messages or whatever. And let me know if you like the video. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And then hopefully you won't need us for what our client needed yesterday, but if you do, give us a call.